Okie dokie, gentlemen, are we all here ready to fucking go? I asked y'all a question! As I reveal my giant's monkey! That's not as funny as you thought it was, boy!
God, I thought he meant penis!
I swear, the only thing I hate more than weaklings... Hey! I'm speaking, soldier! Don't fucking speak unless you're smart as fucking dirt! What we're gonna do is we're gonna fly over the
The talk show at the end of the week.
Space is big.
StarCitizenBase.
It's really big.
Roundtable.
And welcome, and that's not the right scene though. Hello, welcome everybody to the Roundtable here on Sunday evening, or afternoon, or night, or Monday morning, wherever you are, you can be listening to this here on the base.
It's 5 o'clock on the East Coast, and that's the only time that matters.
Shut up. It's 21 UTC, there we go, so it's evening, technically speaking, in space. So here on Sunday, where we talk about Star Citizen and we just hang out and maybe go through some news, go through some salt, go through some good things, maybe some new reveals or reveals from the community or reveals from CG. Who knows? But like I'm missing a box, but is Theo now here? We were like setting up like 5 minutes before this, and turns out not everybody was here.
Some people have a life and kids, you know.
This is life.
You have commitments, Theo.
There's Theo. Then get on the freaking video call, and we can actually see you. Or is he not?
You can be the invisible voice of unreasonability.
Exactly.
Unreasonability.
I like that word.
I don't know, I think I just made it up. Maybe. Might be a word. Hell if I know.
So, for one...
We kind of made it here. Yeah.
Kind of. Well, we did. Not kind of. It's... We're here. Right?
The dedicated people showed up. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, like, look at the chat. We have,
Or
Harold,
you could look at it like the people with no life showed up.
Innovis.
That's true.
Even Disbot is here. That's amazing. We have a actual...
We have the... Yeah.
You never get lonely as long as you have a sex
The bot will be our friend.
So, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So talking about that bot, it's been the submission period, whatever you want to call it, has been started. You can submit your questions about something or anything that happened in Star Citizen you want us to cover, or something that you're wondering about, or something about the game that we might have answers to. But of course, we're not developers. We will give our unopinionated, like, what do you call that?
Perspective.
No, I was thinking of something else, but okay. We will give our...
I thought you were about to say
answers.
Unopinionated opinion.
Unopinionated opinion, yeah. Well, why not? Fuck it, it's just like we're going live, so let's do it!
You mean we're not professional developers and we can't tell people exactly how shit works? Because that's what we're about, is,
I can get pretty
technical
close.
details.
Of course.
We can get somewhere near the mark, but
yeah, so do you
we're not.
Use question in brackets, like square brackets in the chat at Twitch TV, and then followed by the question. It'll be submitted. We will definitely answer that, or try to answer.
Or don't ask any questions.
Or that'll cause the show to go in a certain direction you might not want it to. Or
if
maybe
you would like us to tune our guitars for an hour, don't ask any questions. It's that simple.
please ask questions.
and use voice boxes and stuff like that. So if that's what you want, that's your choice.
The probability of voice changes is high.
Is it?
It is.
It is.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. I'm waiting to see you on the stream. I know Realm's like, what the fuck?
Me, but doesn't do anything about it.
Technology takes time, man. It's not all
Do you want
automated.
to switch to? Do you want me to flip the image?
You're already here then?
You're fine.
Oh, there he is. Look at that.
He's in a box.
I'll put him in a box.
In a box, in a
Yeah.
box. Look at all this technology at work. It's crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, the only, well, we can turn this into a speculation show because by next week the Gamescom presentation will have happened, and for one, we know that there will be a ship reveal concept sale, and they said it was going to be on Friday, which pretty much coincides with that they are going to present this ship, whatever it may be, at the presentation. Will be a special section about it, then revealing it and putting it on sale, on concept sale. It wasn't even the game-changing ship that Ben was talking about. Apparently, it's just something else. And people say it's 600 die or whatever origin, but I mean, there's no way to say for sure. But it wouldn't be a surprise if it was that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
well,
then
Ben
we'll be
Lesnick is a troll, so game changer, my ass.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. That's the thing.
It's a
the
game
people have
changer.
been wondering that too. Like, what does that even mean?
So I was thinking about this, right? Game-changing ship.
Right.
So they can't mean game-changing in the way that it would be the most dominant ship in the game, blah, 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 because that's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Game-changing meaning maybe, anyways, we thought of a new role.
We
thought of something completely outside of the box, a new gameplay.
That would be
and
game-changing.
this ship would be based around it. Right, exactly. Right. Other than that, I don't... How do you see the game changing? I mean, we have exploration ships, we got cargo ships, we got repair ships, we got combat ships.
The thing would be larger multi-crew ships, some sort of fashion, and
like the Polaris, like the Idris, like the Javelin, like what? It's all in there.
They're not in there for us. But it's a combination of what you just said: a game-changing ship, just a larger one in one of the classes that hasn't gotten that much love yet.
How about mining? Everybody's hot for mining.
Public transport.
It has the Orion.
We have 2 mining ships already, so that's not it.
Nope, no mining. As for transport, we have more than enough transport ships.
A ship with onboard arena commander machine we're using hangars. That's pretty much what you're saying is like a casino ship. That would be gameplay changing.
890 jump.
Well, good. Yeah, sure, why not?
Right.
Party ship. Oh, that's what we made of it, but it's not really meant for that. Sort of.
Well, the only thing that I see really missing in this universe, which would be usually would mean a lot of interaction with you would have a lot of AI staff, a lot of AI guests, and maybe a lot of human guests as well. I don't know. It would be a large cruise liner.
The 890 jump.
Starliner.
No, it's a yacht. It's a yacht.
But how is that? Basically. How is that a game changer ship, though? I mean,
it changes gameplay.
What role could you think of that hasn't already been discussed by CIG?
That's what I'm trying to think of.
They pretty much covered everything.
Now, cannot be an exploration. We have more than enough. Mining, at least 2. Cargo, more than enough.
Yeah.
We have the Starfarer for that type of style. The only thing I can really imagine is the 2 category, which is search and rescue and AAA functions, if you know what I mean. How to tow a ship into safe. Yeah. How to actually
you mean
a ship
towing,
that can
yeah.
tow other ships.
A space tow
Basically,
truck.
is support mechanic.
Yeah.
The
That's-
Crucible?
Yeah, it sort of fills the role. But
That's where you're supposed to repair stuff, not... It's not a tow truck.
But
Like,
it
a
can function as
freelancer could be a tow truck easy
I
enough.
guess, yeah.
Or a hull,
But
you
only
know,
for
seat
fighters,
or
though.
whatever.
Then, yeah.
That's I'm hoping for something larger. I mean, imagine having a large cruise liner with multiple crew on board, hundreds, if not thousands, of AI guests. That would be a proper Starliner.
You'd want to run a ship like that?
Hell yeah! If it
Yeah,
makes
it's the
money.
busboy. You can run around or the waiter, the maitre d'. You can greet everybody. I wonder if they tip. Would they tip? Could you make extra credits by tips? That'd be great.
Imagine all the job that goes into managing. If you take into account what they just said about you cannot AFK run and make money.
Cruise ship management brought to you by Robert Space Industries. Available now.
Exactly.
RobertSpaceIndustries.com.
Yeah,
Imagine
I don't know about that one.
Oh, look at it this way. You have a Starliner that goes to fantastic views in space. It can go down to planet side and cruise above ground level or sea level. You know, in that, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's needed on board a Starliner. You know, you're going to have, as anything else in the world, it's a hostile place. And it's a dangerous place. So and it's constantly going to need maintenance. It's constantly going to need crew maintenance. All of that stuff is going to be in there.
Like someone says police, but that's kind of funny because the original Avenger used to be a police vehicle, but I think like that was so long ago that they made that ship that the Avenger right now doesn't even really
and the
doesn't really
Cutlass
cover
Blue
as a police ship anymore or an interdictor at that point. It's been made so different, the whole concept. I don't know. It's I guess we still have the prisoner pods. Yeah.
Callum No says a mine layer ship question. I don't know. I kind of hope not. I don't know how that gameplay would work out. A mine layer ship? I don't know. Trap ship like they have in Eve, like they traps they used in what was that damn show? Oh my god.
You know what?
The Expanse
would be a game changer.
Ship traps? No, it wasn't in The Expanse, was it? It was in Firefly. Yeah. Where they laid
another
like
2 options.
nets or 3.
It would be an interdiction ships, purebred interdiction ships.
We have science vessels, right? Like we also have herbologist stuff like
Endeavor does
the
all the science.
Yeah, this does all the science.
All the science.
So you can get crazy with herbs and plants and animals.
That
animal
herbal,
pens. Now just go crazy.
What is going to change gameplay for people getting pulled out of warp speed, right? Out of 0.2 light speed or cruise speed, or whatever you want to call
interdiction.
Yeah.
Well, they already said that was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But they're talking about a ship in particular. Who knows what the hell Ben was talking about? You know?
It could have just been some random, you know, he got excited and just made kind of a random, you know, he couldn't think of something to say.
He was going in for eye surgery at that time.
Yeah. Base defense
maybe
as
he
well,
was losing his mind.
Base defense, setting up defensive areas around. There's so many stuff that comes in that isn't really covered yet. You know, proper mechanical ship that's actually building stuff like.
That's an interesting stuff. I just think, something that could build
with
buildings.
Miniguns for my base defense, and they just pop out of these little containers and start blasting thousands of rounds.
Like ships that could transform themselves into small outposts on the ground. You land it, and then you anchor it into the ground or something, and then you can deploy the feet and whatever, and the dish, whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's something that could be used. Like, I'm just going off the, or maybe like ships that could deploy themselves as defensive turrets even on land. I don't care.
Or maybe they have a true boarding ship now.
True boarding. Okay.
Well, they talked about in 3.0 you would have the ability to breach doors now, right? That was something that was.
But you can't attach. They've taken away the ability to attach.
Yeah, well, what about that one thing with the Van Doel's ship that like speared the side of a hull?
We'll see.
That's cool. I want to see more of that.
That would be crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just drive a spear right into the side of a hull and it opens up and a bunch of Marines jump in.
Oh, yeah.
Or pirates or whatever you want to call them.
I mean, that sounds like a Vandal tactic to me, but either way.
Well, if there's one thing that humans are good at, it's adapting alien technology to further their advancements, i.e. the cell phone or personal computer or all kinds of... Oh, absolutely.
My PC was
Area
by
51,
aliens?
my friend.
There's
Holy no question. This is all alien tech we're playing with right now. Humans didn't come up with this crap. We're too stupid. We can't even get along, let alone develop something like this. The internet? Come on. That's way beyond human understanding.
It's a series of tubes.
That's how babies are made. That's different. That's right. You got nothing to come back on that one, damn it.
No.
The only thing I can say, you said stupid somewhere in there, and that's the only correct thing you said.
What? Everything I said was 100% accurate. What are you talking about? Don't think that the Independence Day movie wasn't based on a true story.
Sometimes.
Oh, did I miss where it said that at the beginning of the movie, based on a true story?
It's been done in Halo. A non-luxury transport ship like a regular old taxi. Isn't that kind of like
a 85X?
85X, yeah. That 85X is a taxi, except that it still has weapons for some reason.
Speaking of that, I do think they need to make more less sexy looking ships. Like, they need more
ugly
manufacturers of like more mundane kind of everyday purpose kind of vehicles and ships. Because
like
once you said
Reclaimer?
No, but once he said taxi, the first thing that came to my head is Bruce Willis's taxi in Fifth Element.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. I love that. So we need more of that.
I have a feeling that if that's probably one of those other marketing decisions that someone might have made. Like just let's not release concepts sales of ships that just don't really fit any particular well-done, well-rounded role, might not be very good looking, or might not just be very good overall anyway. But those kinds of ships do have to be in the universe as well. I feel like you said, like more mundane, more some other parts of the spectrum where not all the ships are super good at what they do. But if they do that, then I'm gonna already see people like, oh, why does it look so ugly? What is this? This I would never drive this, or any other complaints that the community will come out with. It's anti-whiner and stuff like that.
Yeah, people were complaining about the Reclaimer.
There's still people that aren't.
I thought the Reclaimer looks fucking awesome. I love the used, kind of. But it's a brand new ship. It shouldn't be dirty and looky. I'm like, I love it. I'm into it. So I don't know. Each person, to each their own.
There's still people that aren't happy with the way that MISC now has these cockpit views in the Starfarer and the Freelancer with these narrow windows, these panorama windows.
Right.
I'm not necessarily happy with the way they fix the Freelancer. I think the Prospector, doesn't that have almost an entire glass canopy in front of you?
Yeah, but that's
I think so, because you have to be able to see the ground.
Yeah, but
Like,
you're in a
below
space
you.
game. Don't you want to see as much of the spacescape that they're putting so much effort into in almost every ship you fly?
Don't you want to be protected against
flying
flying
Aurora
bullets?
Well, it's transparent
K2-all.
aluminum, man.
Sure.
That's from Star Trek like 20 years ago. That's a thing.
That's a real thing now, actually.
It really is.
Actually make that now.
Why don't you just make the entire ship of transparent aluminum?
That is a good suggestion. We should throw that up on Spectrum. Make a see-through ship. The ultimate stealth ship. You could just see right through it. Make the entire ship out of some frickin' super durable acrylic. No? Okay.
Acrylic?
Whatever it's called in the future. We call it Lexan acrylic. Some shit.
Let's call it
Talk about
aluminium's fine.
aluminium.
Stealth paint.
You know, which is layered and composite materials, basically.
Drake said so Wonder Woman already has that patented, so we can't have invisible space planes. That's probably true. That could be true. It could be a copywritten thing. That's why we don't have X-Wing fighters in Star Citizen.
It's been done in Halo. Or everything's been done in any other sci-fi out there. That's the whole thing with Star Citizen.
There's nothing original anymore.
Yeah, it's nothing original.
There really isn't.
Look at the freaking sandworm. And the marine outfits and stuff. There's always similarities.
The challenge now is can you do what's been done before better? That's what it is now.
And you might strike on like one new creative, really hasn't been seen before thing, but the chances of that are fucking very slim.
Yeah. So, I think the sandworm was pretty impressive compared to, the sandworm and whatever from 20 years ago.
I like that comment Cal No said. Maybe with the planetary tech or ground vehicles coming along with some kind of ship that could serve as a deployable base. So the ship lands and it kind of unfolds into a fucking ground forward operation base, and they could fold back a transformer ship.
Construction yard like
that'd be cool.
CNC or what was the other? Dune?
Yeah. In Command & Conquer, it's called an MCV, Mobile Construction Vehicle.
Yeah.
And then once you start talking about this, I just start thinking about playing Star Citizen RTS, like in first person, like laying buildings down, building units, and sending them off.
Yeah, well, we have talked about how in the hell
things.
are you going to build a planetary base without having it just auto-populate? Because that would be ridiculous.
Well, you would have your own mini game setting up the base, and then it would auto-populate with either containers or ships, like just suggested, that comes in as boxes that opens up and develops into whatever you've ordered.
Well, you could do that for sure, but are they going to do that? That's when we don't know, so it's all speculation.
I don't think
it's very crafty.
I don't think it's going to be. They're not putting in stuff that just magically appears.
What they need to put in is jetpacks, like in Anthem.
Yeah.
Anthem. All right, that revealed.
that.
Yeah.
They probably can't do that because, in an unrestricted environment, it would probably ruin the gameplay for a lot of people. Because you just have guys like AOTW flying around and just destroying everyone all over the place.
Ain't no different than when they introduced flying mounts into World of Warcraft. It used to take forever to get someplace, and flying mounts took care of that.
And they lowered,
and not just flight path, but flying mounts.
For that at some point.
Yes, they did.
It used to be level 40, and it was
Right,
level
but
20.
Yeah, remember you couldn't get a ground mount until level 20.
Yeah, the thing is, in most MMOs, you have a choice of whether you want to PvP or not. Star Citizen is a PvP game, so
it's a combo. It will be both. There will be zones where it's more hazardous for players to behave like assholes.
Right.
Whatever the fuck they want.
They won't.
But there will always be characters, NPCs that will be acting like pirates, and it won't be swarming of pirates in safer zones, but there will still be NPC pirates and buccaneers and all that stuff.
Yep. No discussion of the lawnmower incident that occurred in the Netherlands.
What? I don't remember any of that.
I did what?
With his hair.
Oh.
We just don't talk about it. They wiped his memory, just like was said. Innovis said we had our memories wiped. Yep.
Talk about Relium's hair again.
Yep.
It's fucking long-haired hippie still.
It's pretty long, yeah. It was freaking pretty damn long, dude. That shit was down to his ass.
Before that, that was just crazy long. Now it's just a regular old male hippie.
How do you feel about that much of your life wasted?
Why would it be wasted?
I was heartbroken when I first cut my hair. My hair wasn't quite as long as yours, but it was pretty close. And when I first got it cut, I cried.
That's actually nice.
I had it
You save money on shampoo and conditioner.
That too.
That's why I keep it super short now.
Still got a lot of hair to deal with.
Yeah,
Not really.
Yeah, I had the long. Mine was down pretty far, almost as long as his was. Oh.
The shower trains really
I cannot really say that my hair has ever been longer than.
I don't doubt that at all.
That was just because I had no say in the matter.
Oh my god, shiver. We're doing this now. The pun's rolling.
Roland bought a Misk razor.
Lol.
I should have had that thing connected. Let's wait till late for that. You needed 3. Wow.
3 Misk razors to cut all that damn hair. So still, I sit here and no one presented a compelling argument to sway me on my opinion of what a game-changing ship might be, because all that we spewed was bullshit and garbage.
Right.
Because
well, here's just one idea, but I think they've said this mechanic is not going to be in the game. It could maybe be a cloaked stealth ship. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because somebody said before that they were in no way going to introduce cloaking into this game because it's too fucking overpowered. Stealth.
But stealth, the way you minimize your signature, yes.
The implementation of stealth that they have for Star Citizen sounds reasonable as far as gameplay goes. To just not see someone sitting there and then all of a sudden they're there and there was no way for you to know regardless of what you did sounds like bullshit. In a game anyway, in a PvP game. Because then you can just have swarms of stealth ships and they're like, oh, we're just going to kind of swarm this area and wait for miners or truckers or whatever, and no way to defend yourself against that.
It would have to be ridiculously hard and expensive to get.
Not only that, it would resource intensive to maintain a cloak so that you show up on other spectrums like signatures, etc.
Puddle jump.
How much would you shell out for a game-changing ship? Bang Chow asks.
42.
It really depends. It really depends. The ships have never been bought based on anything other than the definition of their role. You know, performance and all that stuff. You saw, especially with the Vanguard was a big one. The Vanguard was going to be this monster right? And it hit the game, and it was a monster. And people were just destroying everybody in Vanguards. And they were like, whoa, well, everybody's destroying everybody in Vanguards. We need to balance that a little bit. So they nerfed them. And they nerfed them a little hard.
No, it's a piece of shit.
And people were like, oh, I don't want this ship anymore. But you don't know whether you want that ship or not because balancing has not occurred.
No.
What you have to remember is at some point, there's no limit anymore. You can take any gun as long as it fits the size and put it on the ship. And there will be weapons that, although intended for other use, will be devastating on certain ships. That ship will still be old and slow, or big and slow. But if it hits you, it's almost bye-bye on the first or three first shots.
You can't balance a game that doesn't exist yet.
That is true.
Just saying.
You can't balance a game that doesn't have its core mechanics in place yet.
Not all
Because
ships in the
technically,
game.
it's not even a game yet. It's still a bunch of technology that's being put together to make a game. That's another thing. That's a salt block.
Do you really think you can balance Star Citizen?
To a certain extent, you can. You can't. There's no way that
within a class.
Yeah, there's no way Auroras are going to stand up to Sabers and so on and so on. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't have the maneuverability or the firepower. It probably never will. So it is what it is at that point.
So, how many really skilled single-seater pilots do you think would be butthurt if turrets becomes effective?
AI turrets that work? Or, well,
Just
if
that,
AI
like,
turrets are a good...
Also, multi-crew.
I'm fine with that.
It can be an
That was the point
NPC
of it
controlling
anyway.
it. Doesn't really matter to me, or a player, as long as a player can use it effectively. If a player can be devastating with a turret, how about that?
It's coming.
Well, that raises a question. If say, a constellation is being flown by only one player, should it only take one player with one fighter to take out that ship?
No. The answer's no.
Right.
That's obvious.
That's what I think.
And you know what I really hope that Star Citizen strives for is doubt. Always doubting yourself. Always doubting your ability to take that guy out. You need to look at another... That needs to be made in such a way that when even some of the best pilots look at another ship, they have to think about it. They can't just rush in and go, oh, I'm going to just go crazy here. Because the odds of them getting destroyed themselves, the probability needs to be high.
Right, and it's not about just can they do it. Is it going to be worth it for them to do it? Are they going to have to waste all of their missiles and all of their ammunition and then have to pay to restock all of that? It's like, if you look at the situation and say, this is going to cost me a fuck ton, it's not worth it. I don't even know what cargo they might have. Fuck it. I'm not going to risk that. So there has to be that consideration, yeah, for sure.
I think there will have to be a ladder. It will have to be players, NPC, then AI turrets. And you can really have to pay for really skilled NPCs. They are mimicking players in the game. So they should outgun AI turrets. That if you choose to get AI turrets, you don't get that extra little bit. It should be skilled player, skilled NPC, then AI turrets. That order. That you always benefit from stepping up. Paying more should always get you better gear and better chances.
All right.
Do people understand? The last thing before we go. Do people really understand what we talk about when we separate between AI turrets and NPC turrets?
AI is technology, NPCs, well, technically it's technology, but they're supposed to be humans.
Thinking of,
they're supposed to be characters.
in fiction, in the game, NPCs are real people.
Are people.
So,
An AI is a computer-controlled device like they have
and you
now.
can argue
like a
that AI
module.
should be better. You can argue that AI should be better. Maybe the AI modules should cost more, but the benefit of having an NPC is more than just an NPC sitting in a turret. They can do other things. Like
unless they
turrets
make
down.
the economy really, really well, eventually credits are going to be irrelevant for a lot of players. Because you just pile credits. You just make credits. Look at what happened with Eve. You know, there's more credits that go into a player's account than are forced to come out of a player's account. So, you know, they had huge inflation in Eve because of that. Because it was just, you know, the point and click mining thing and spreadsheet managers and all this crap, buy low, sell high. You know, unless you can manage that to a level that hasn't been done in a game, credits eventually, maybe not in a year, maybe not in 5 years, but at some point credits will become irrelevant for most of the players except for the new guys, which is actually going to hurt, because that's Eve's big problem. Is the threshold for new players is so great, the learning curve. You've seen the gif of the cliff, the learning curve cliff of Eve. You know, you can't have this game be that way. It has to be balanced in a way that a new guy can come in 3 years from now and still survive and be competitive and have a good time. You know, because contrary to popular belief, at the end of the day, it is a game and it's entertainment, and people need to be able to come to it and enjoy themselves, regardless of what you choose to do. You know, even if that's being a douchebag and going around blowing up all the new guys.
We also have to extend that to the people that only come and play 2 or 4 hours a week. That don't have
casuals
time to put into it. Yeah, casuals. There has to be a segment for them as well in the game.
Well, absolutely, but that then triggers the other group that wants to be hardcore, saying that's bullshit. You know, that whole deal with, oh, if you only have a limited amount of time, we're going to allow you to buy some money to supplement
that shit. They don't
that
train
shit.
as much. How are they so good?
Right.
Cry me a fucking river.
They shouldn't be able to buy gear, blah, blah, blah.
I should be better.
If you don't have casuals, guess what? You don't have a game.
This is true story.
Yep.
So please take your hardcore ass opinion and shove it.
Damn, that's a break.
That's a break. Let's go, and they'll be back. If you still have, I don't think we have any questions been submitted yet. Maybe they have. But after that, I'm pretty sure maybe people might have some good questions. So please do questions in brackets followed by the question. There we go, and they'll be submitted. We'll go through them in the last half hour of the show or so. And then we'll definitely answer to our knowledge and however we can. We'll be right back after this little music break. Stay tuned. Oops, that's again the wrong one. There we go. Hello, we're back.
Damn it!
It's just such a routine for me. I keep clicking that one instead of that one because that's the usual one. But now there's only 4 of us anyway, so this is a nicer overlay. Back. Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
What up?
So somebody said earlier in the chat, what's the news? What is the news of the week? So here...
The news is that Gamescom is coming. That is why there's no news.
Here's a link for everybody to check out here.
Oh.
And we will discuss this link here. What is this link? Is this the Gamescom booth?
That's a Gamescom
for Robert
booth.
Space Industry?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. They were setting that up, today, actually, I think.
So this is different than it's been in the past, no?
Yeah, well, except for just...
The question is, these 8 PCs that are set up on these tables that we see, not including the 4 in the back with the mixing console there, because I would assume that's for the people doing the live stream?
This live stream, yeah.
So are these 8 PCs that are set up here, are these for...
visitors?
Visitors to come and test the game on?
I guess so. But that's always how they've done it, really, in the past. Like, they have... Because
they were set up on the outside, and there were only a few
Meyer
PCs.
right
that is Meyer, yeah, but I don't think that's a streamer PC, though. He's probably just sitting there. But, yeah, like, the Gamescom version that I went to, CIG had, like, a 3x4 booth or something. It was really small, like, meters, I mean. And they had... They might have had 3 or 4 computers there in total, and that wasn't even including a streamer PC because they didn't have that because they didn't stream at all. So they just had maybe 2 or 3 people 2 or 3 free PCs that were used for visitors to come and check out and try the game with a HOTAS or a keyboard, whatever they want. And what was last week? They had like kind of like this, but I don't think they had a second block of visitor PCs. They just had one big line of desks for the streamers with 4 computers or something, and then maybe 2 desks with 4, maybe 5 people. Well, I don't really remember that well anyway.
Last year?
Yeah, it kind of looked like...
I thought the gaming PCs for the public were set up in like a half moon circle around the outside.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
They might be doing, you know, kind of like... They're going to have the streamers plus some other people playing with them kind of deal, you know? You know, devs or QA people or whatever.
So, just to start drama because I'm good at it, you know one thing I don't see in this picture?
Disco Lando?
No, he's not there because he's in LA, but he will be there for sure. Want to try one more guess?
What the fuckosaurus?
What the fuckosaurus?
Oh,
shit. Of course he's not here.
Just burn.
Talking about stuff you step in, I just stepped on a fucking snail 6-inch long on my way to the kitchen. Apparently it's got in just a few minutes. The door was open earlier today.
It is the season and the weather for
this long ass piece of
goo.
I had to mop up the floor afterwards.
Nice.
That's too much information, Tio. Thank you. I'll need to know that.
Squish the snail.
I can show you the sock. That was wet goo.
So
I don't want to talk about your wet goo. Fuck.
What date is the streaming thing for? What date does Gamescom in general begin? Like, don't they? Do they have like a press day?
It starts Wednesday.
But do they have it like most conferences do? They have like a press day and then they have a public time
Isn't Wednesday
as well?
the press day or was that Tuesday? I'm not sure.
Hold on.
It's Wednesday.
Like the venue would be open like the
Actually,
same...
I'll tell you what, Rowan, I can give this to you if you
probably
want.
Find it. Yeah, and then it's like 3 days for the public. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Or is it Sunday too? 4, right?
Sunday too.
It doesn't specify here. It just, you know, it starts Wednesday, goes through Saturday, and the presentation is Friday night.
Well, that's the
CIG
Friday thing. But Innovis said that it's already started. US. Gamescom's already running?
No.
Yeah.
Or are big companies having like pre-Gamescom?
They start setting up stuff early, you know, because it takes time to set it up.
They would, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. But they have. I don't remember if they 1 or 2 days for the press. Is it one? Is it both Tuesday and Wednesday?
Well, Detroit is a big auto town, right? So whenever they do auto stuff like this, they always do a minimum day, to have the press day where it's only journalists from all over the world, and then it's open to the general public for days. So I don't know if this is the same.
It's not press day. It's a industry day basically. Industry and their families can come in, and that includes the press.
Yeah,
so you have to have. Well, they're guests that's there on business
invitees.
Yeah. I think what it is companies like Microsoft and you know, the big companies like that, they just do their own press stuff the days before the actual conference, because they're doing the same thing for E3 now. They like there's some of them that do it like the weekend before, like the Thursday before, like the Monday it's supposed to start. So yeah, they do that all the time.
Well, they do rent hotels nearby and large lobbies and set up rooms everywhere, especially in Las Vegas. But you know, they do it at Gamescom and other events as well, where you know you have showings of stuff that doesn't need that much setup, but they do it in hotels instead.
You know what
they do the main marketing at the event.
I think we'll see, if you get a look out, I think we'll see Zocthi there as well, and it's very likely he'll visit the Star Citizen booth at one point as well, because he does that all the time. He loves the game as well, so I mean, we've got him on here, but he's originally the community manager for the games that develop Space Engineers and that other game, Medieval Engineers, based out of Czech Republic, I think, Czechia.
Yeah.
And we've had him on the show. He was a fun guy, so it's most likely we'll see him there. Dude. Even in the Star Citizen booth, he'll visit. I'm sure of that.
Does his company have representation at Gamescom then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't see why not. I think he was talking about that they were going to Gamescom as a company again. Like
that's got to cost money for the companies to have show floor.
No, it depends on of course, but it depends on how well you. I mean, how big you want to go with that, of course.
Well, it looks like the CIG booth is considerably bigger than it's been.
Yeah.
It's expensive as hell. This is marketing money.
I still have pictures from the time that I was there. That was really just small as hell.
It's your subscriber money at work, Junto.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If it makes the game more money in the long run and it's actually successful and has longevity, every dollar's worth it.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the only companies that doesn't have 75% of their budget into marketing.
They are streaming from this event, therefore, those money that are earmarked for that kind of presentation of the game to the community is covered. That's one of the main reasons you have a whole budget to take from that is basically free advertising money.
That's another thing that we still haven't gotten clarification on, and I don't really think we ever will, but is the subscriber funds counted in the general funds ticker on the funding page?
If it's not, then that's even more impressive.
Right.
You know?
I would think that it is, because on any general day that never goes below like 28 to 30,000 on any given day.
And I mean, they count it towards your total account value. So, yeah.
It might be, might not be.
CIG doesn't discuss finances though, so which I don't blame them.
Not with us. No.
Well, they don't discuss anything with us because we're the base, and you heard what Jared said about us.
What
did he say? Is that guy from the base? Fuck. Hate that guy. You didn't see in the...
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, yeah, is that the guy from the base? Oh, he decided to come on that one time, and I guess whatever experience he had with Rico, probably...
It was on the Friday night show.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Rico was pretty drunk. I remember.
Yeah.
And Disco kept telling Rico he hated him. And then I was in chat telling Disco what a shitty community fucking relations guy he was, telling people in the community that you hate them. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But fuck that guy. Whatever.
Yeah. They'll be... Okay.
Do you really care?
Me personally?
No, we love him.
No. Not really.
I was looking for that picture, but... The booth looked like at 2015. Where's the picture?
Where is the pictures? You only have about 10,000 pictures related to all this stuff.
That's the problem. So. I mean, that's the... Like we...
It's got too much.
We... threw all that stuff together, and
you need to organize better.
There was one person that made like a couple thousand pictures within a couple days, which is insane. Like, okay,
digital.
Yeah.
the magic of digital storage now. You can just keep pressing the shutter button.
Yeah, I'm probably never gonna find it anyway.
So I wonder, like, compared to the rest of, gaming companies,
where there's no doubt they've got a sponsor or sponsors. There's
Intel,
no doubt about that.
Yeah, well, Intel provided a lot of their builds. No, that's all right. Because that looks expensive, and I was going to say, I wonder.
Those chairs.
Yeah, and I'm sure those are donated because they're all the same.
All Asus screens.
No, I would buy the same stuff regardless because it just looks better.
Yeah, if you can get a bulk deal, sure.
Yeah, well, Newegg sells shit in lots.
I don't think this is Newegg stuff.
Is it 4K? Are they 1080 Ti's?
Does it have LTI, the chairs?
Does it have LTI? Yeah, the chair.
Did they bring that stuff with them, or was it acquired in Germany?
No, I think...
Do you really think they will be showcasing on a 4K screen? Hell no.
The systems, actually, they were obviously purchased in Europe. I think they were actually brought to Frankfurt office because we saw Twitter pics from... what's his face? With the hair. How did I not remember his name?
Brian Chambers?
Brian Chambers.
What's his face with the hair?
From
the base.
He saw Twitter pictures.
Brian
we saw Twitter pictures from Brian testing out the builds, and he had a bunch of computers in one room. Like those were the streaming computers. So, I mean, why wouldn't they do that? Why would you bring it from the United States?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, right.
She Drake says he predicts that he will hear news about the new Logitech Star Citizen flight stick, and I predict that you were smoking a lot of crack this morning.
So Star Citizen flight stick, that story?
If they were going to make a Star Citizen flight stick, HOTAS, whatever, at this point, they have to make it better than what there already is, and people are already pretty happy with their T16,000s and their Warthogs and all of that. So, are they going to make something that's better than those? I mean, it's a Logitech stick, so they could try to make something better than their own T16,000, but then what's that going to cost? I don't know.
Logitech doesn't put a lot of money into flight controls because that's not where the money's at for them. And Logitech is a big-ass company, so they have counters that are sitting there worried about profit margins on everything that they do. If there's not a good return on investment, they're not making an investment. They're not going to do it just because, 10, 15, 25, 50, 100,000 people want something that may or may not buy.
Yeah.
No, I just snagged a random picture from Google. This was at the 2015 booth. You can see how many people are in front of it. You kind of see how wide it is, not very wide. 2 screens on either side, like a backdrop.
And that's down at the shipping dock.
And there were like
the
2 or 3
shipping door
computers.
right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there were like 2 or 3 computers in front of it with people standing behind them and playing early builds.
Because there was really no game in 2015.
There was Arena Commander.
That's before the PU.
Arena Commander was
Crusader
actually Arena Commander was at that point actually quite good, and especially for players like that were into flight sims and dogfighting and space things. That was still very interesting to see.
I mean, they're here.
The audience has changed as well.
Right
obviously.
now. Yeah, they're here at this Gamescom right now to make one of their biggest marketing pushes ever. So, yeah, they're gonna, try to make it as big as they can.
So let's think about this for a second then. Gamescom 2016 was a big deal. Planetary tech reveal, blah, blah, blah. Really cool. Freelancer footage out in and outside of buildings. Seamless transitions. Atmospheric entry effects. All that stuff was just mind-blowing, right? CitizenCon, however, Squadron 42 reveal that didn't happen created an enormous amount of drama in this community, followed by the Road to CitizenCon, where they actually did a pretty good explanation of why Citizen Con was, as I don't want to say fucked up, because it wasn't that fucked up. It just wasn't what we were expecting to see. Vertical slice of Squadron 42 and all that shit. It's been a year. It's literally been a year. So, how much progress
because they
could
know they
have
need
made
to put
in
up
that
or
year?
shut up. I mean, after what, you know, promises that were made, you could say, and trying to hype something that they could not deliver when saying they were, you know, giving a message that sounds like they were going to deliver something. So,
right.
You know, they know they need to make it happen this time.
And missing dates doesn't bother me. I mean, it is what it is. Shit happens. Just like the delay with the perceived delay with 3.0. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it is what it is. You know, you don't put your car on the road until it's ready to be on the road. If you're building a race car, you don't race it down the track until it's ready to race down the track, or it explodes in a ball of flame and melts your face. Nobody wants that. So this is no different. I'm saying that because it's been a year and we haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything about Squadron 42 since CitizenCon?
That's what I've said. It's been over a year.
Zero talk.
Nothing.
So, could it be,
I mean,
that there's something in there? I know everybody's saying, oh, they scrapped the vertical slice, blah, blah, blah. They're never going to do it, blah, blah, blah. But I just find it odd.
There could be some kind of thing.
I really find it odd that there has been really no talk of Squadron 42 except for the guys that are doing like the Around the Verse bits where they're saying, oh, these assets we use for both. You know, everything has to be built for both. Things like that. But nothing like bespoke to Squadron 42.
Well, you could say we've been shown little things like the hologram stuff in ATV a couple weeks ago. But, yeah, nothing concrete of, you know, really that represents Squadron 42. Since that Monroe, whatever it was, demo.
Oh, yeah, the Monroe tour.
Yeah, Monroe tour. I was not getting any kind of hope up for seeing something from Squadron 42 at Gamescom. I'm expecting that, sort of expecting that at CitizenCon. I don't expect anything from CIG anymore, but, you know, that's what I was thinking. They would completely focus on 3.0 at Gamescom and then show something of Squadron at CitizenCon.
Wild Runner NL, I'm assuming that means in the Netherlands, is going to Gamescom show. He's really hyped. He's hoping for a 3.0 announcement plus a Squadron 42 finished vertical slice. I think maybe your ambitions are high, but my point for him is join the base Discord, and when you go to CitizenCon, when you take pictures, drop them in there for us, please. Help us out.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody drop that link, please. If you're not in the base Discord, join the base Discord and
over on Twitter as well, but yeah.
In the Star Citizen Talk, just spam all your Gamescom pictures like crazy.
But one reason why I don't think we're gonna see anything from Squadron at Gamescom is because I think half the people at Foundry 40 in Manchester have to be working on 3.0 right now. You know, I think they've got all hands on deck for 3.0 right now, basically.
Oh, I agree with that, absolutely. But wasn't it always the thing where there was some of the teams that were Squadron 42 specific, or was it always shared asset teams?
Well, I'm pretty sure most of the Manchester studio is completely focused on, usually supposed to be completely focused on Squadron, but with things how they are right now with 3.0, I don't see why they wouldn't be like, hey, we need more people to get 3.0 out. So, because
I'm just going to say it one last time. I find it very odd that there has been no Squadron 42 talk in over a year. I just find it very odd. So maybe it's a big hush hush gonna drop the bomb. Maybe I'm just being a little too.
I find it a sound business decision to not talk about it.
Yeah,
well, that's true.
Mean, there has been a little bit of talk about it, though. There's been those magazine articles, that showed off some stuff, and, remember the magazine cover with Mark Hamill on it, and, there's been something, but not like ATV style showing us anything about it. Because, they don't want to spoil anything, but, they could still show something. So it is a bit
touchy. It's not a spoiler, dude. AI is not complete.
AI is not complete, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that the game drops during Gamescom or CitizenCon and Squadron 42 is available for download and you can play the single-player campaign. I'm just saying that they haven't talked about it, shown anything really of substance for a long time, and it seems odd to me that they haven't, and I'm pretty confident they haven't stopped working on it over the last 12 months. So a demo,
they gotta
maybe
they got to be in a better place than they were last CitizenCon.
Well, according to that damn Road to CitizenCon video, dude, they were saying every day they were having no-goes. Every day for like 2 weeks. Why can't we get this fixed? Why can't we get that fixed? If you were that close a year ago, that
was something else. That was for the vertical slice.
Sure. But that's still not a trailer on rails. A vertical slice would be an actual gameplay segment of just a small portion that shows off a lot of what is available in a game. That's what a vertical slice would be. So I
think we're gonna see
pizza. We're gonna see pizza for sure because I'm hungry for pizza.
A new ship.
I think we're gonna see. As they explained earlier, they're not gonna do any vertical slices at all. If they show anything, they're going to show the game, but maybe limit the content to areas that are finished. They just script where they go and don't go. Basically.
Show one mission. I don't know how many missions, because we're only getting the first chapter of Squadron 42. There's 2 more, so I don't know how many missions there are supposed to be in the first chapter, but you could show something.
What we can get is a lot more videos of these stars, celebs playing actors. I don't want to call them. Some of them are actors, at least. And give us that. That would be satisfying. Just seeing some of the actual content of the game. When you play games that are content driven, you want to actually get a feel for the content, and a lot of the videos are maybe the videos with the menu system in place. That would be awesome. Whether you can walk around in a story, for instance.
Yeah, and Matachi just said basically what I said 10 minutes ago. Gamescom will have an Epic 3.0 demo. CitizenCon will have Squadron 42. That's what I think.
I'm hoping
there's an ugly possibility for that. I will hope for Squadron 42. I haven't thought about Squadron 42 other than you guys talk about it for a whole year for a specific reason, but I really would like to see it.
We all would.
Dude, come on. We've been talking about this shit forever. Like, you can't tell me that the Reclaimer...
have been talking about this forever.
No, well, that's just true. You can't tell me that Reclaimer shot with those guys walking in that alien-esque environment is not a part of Squadron 42. There's no way that that's not a part of it. No way that they just built that just to build it.
Sure, there wasn't much though. There isn't much there.
All the really planet is already tech that was already in place.
Because the fog,
Reclaimer was finished.
That fog, man, holy shit! That was not hard to put together, honestly. And they have a cinematics team. That's not that super difficult to do.
Yeah, but big cinematics like that are all a part of Squadron 42. That was the whole point of that game, the whole ultra-realistic cinema experience.
They are. I'm just saying that specifically, you know, I'm pretty sure they just made that for ATV. But
no, fuck you. Shut
opinion.
up. Shut your filthy mouth.
Hey, I want that
heretic.
Too. I want
and
that
go to music
too.
break. Shut up.
I want that. I want to land on the planet and find a fucking xenomorph in some crashed ship. I want to do it. You know? Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck
urination in your pants during a video game session
Sandworm.
is awesome.
Stealing your
Have
spice.
you played Alien Isolation? You need to play that game. Seriously.
Still need to finish that, actually.
PUBG and then break. Or break and PUBG.
Not even talk about that. Yeah, let's go to music break and then more Sergeant talk, I guess. Maybe. Well, we'll just continue. Yeah. So once again, we do collect questions. I mean, yes, we haven't answered them yet, but that's the point. We're gathering them for later, which will be in about half an hour or so that we will start that. But in the meantime, you can still submit them, question in brackets, like square brackets, and then followed by the question. Whatever you want, really. Anything interesting you might have found, or you want us to answer something, then do it. In the meantime, let's listen to some music, and we'll be right back here in the Roundtable Stock Show. And welcome back to the StarCitizenBase Roundtable here in the base, where it's raining bitches. According
I thought
to
you were going to be playing a song from you called Raining Bitches, but
what?
Hey. They were almost as good.
It's quality family radio.
That's right.
Here.
That's T.O.'s new cochlear implant right there. You see that?
I have to ventilate my ears.
The vibrations directly affect his brain.
Ventilate your ears.
Yes, because these closed back microphones
kind of stuff comes out of it?
Are warm. They're pretty warm.
Even if they're not closed, they're warm.
I dug my old Sony Studio headset out of the garbage can. The sound on this thing is ridiculous.
Sony.
But why'd you throw it away?
It wasn't in the garbage. It was stuff with all my recording shit. And when we broke out guitars and stuff, I was like, oh, hey, I can use these.
Yeah.
Salt, flea hamster. You're late. We needed you to drop links and change titles and shit, and you weren't here for us.
I'm sorry. I don't have any salt. I've been jerking off to Outpost for 3 days.
Oh, that was kind of good.
No, I'm good.
I don't have any salt as usual, but I bet you Junta has a lot of salt. Nothing?
Gamescom hype is real, man.
Right?
It is. And the only salt that I have is like the expectation level. I can foresee over the next few days exceeding the reality of what could possibly be presented in another episode of butthurt ensuing. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot to complain about.
There's always going to be butthurt people. There's going to be, you know, that asshole we don't even want to talk about starting his shit.
Oh, well, he's got some big news drop to come for Gamescom, so I'm very excited for that.
Boy, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that.
So how does this week play out, though? I got to work, obviously, so...
On Tuesday, there's the press day, then it's open Wednesday to Saturday.
Friday,
so they're streaming again all day, like before?
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing like 6+ hour streams or whatever. But the presentation is on Friday. It's at 3 o'clock Eastern time, so 12 o'clock Pacific time, and then whatever for you European.
Yeah, I already made arrangements to leave work
9 o'clock at night or something.
It's 9 local. Yeah, for them,
it's a good time to get drunk and hang out with Chris Roberts. How big is this Gamescom event? How many tickets? 600 again? Or not so many?
What do you mean again?
Tickets.
the
It's
presentation.
always sold out.
600 and some.
Well, they're at a
Presentation.
different location than they used to be. I
Yeah, the
think.
Gloria this time.
Yeah, because they used to be at a venue where they could fit easily 1,500 in, I think. I remember that. That was actually a packed, quite a packed thing. But they're smaller now, right?
I wonder if they're going to go with that whole sporting event style broadcasting thing that they did last year, because that was kind of like, you don't remember that, where they like
Sporting event?
Yeah, it was like
Oh, with the
they had the guy in
Tyler
the crowd
and-
talking to people. Tyler was in the crowd talking to people, and Disco was up in like a booth presenting,
right.
and then
Probably,
and it
yeah.
was almost like a sporting event. Did they do that for esports? That kind of stuff? I don't watch esports.
I don't know, actually, because I don't really watch esports
yeah,
either.
sometimes. I mean, yeah, why not?
Just
They stole the
Yeah.
idea from somewhere,
Oh.
because nothing.
now,
like we said,
now that
nothing's
you
new.
mention it, I just hope they're not going to do, and they're probably going to do like a Star Marine tournament and an Arena Commander tournament there on the streaming days, but the
Riot coverage.
the Star Marine tournament is going to be awful, because Star Marine is just not. First of all, it's just shit right now, and two, it's not set up to be, casted and commentated by an esports crew. It doesn't have the tools for it.
No, because we've done it. We've actually
tried to do it.
We've actually done it.
Yeah.
And it kind of works, but it doesn't work great. So that's another thing. Whatever, I'll promote it here. If anybody's interested, on the Saturday following the presentation, all day at the ts.starcitizenbase.com, we're going to be doing a game day. Shit, I don't know the hours. It's all damn day, though.
All day, it's like noon to midnight, basically.
Our
Or
time,
UTC.
Eastern time.
It's run for
Yeah.
12 hours or something like that.
Yeah, 4
think
UTC to
it's-
negative 4 UTC, I think sounds right.
Yeah.
So you could stop by ts.starcitizenbase.com at any point during that, and we will assist you in, if you would like to play Star Citizen with the scrubs of Imperium hosting, then I'll be there all damn day. And you could talk shit to me on TeamSpeak. That would be great.
There you go.
Prepare to be yelled at.
Just sit in the politics channel and see who comes in.
Now I gotta sit in the game day lobby. I'll make a sub channel for game day politics, and then Drake can come in and we can talk about all the riots this year and bad things that happened all over the damn world the last few months.
There should be an award if you can withstand the politics channel for like more than an hour.
Me and Jenta will win that. There's no contest.
Right.
We just hand us the prize now. We can talk shit all day.
All day. It's all day on Saturday, Miami. So you're more than welcome to anybody. It's open to the entirety of the community. It's not an Imperium specific event. It's an Imperium hosted event. So anybody can do it. Even your mom. True story.
We'd love to have your mom.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, you said it.
That's great.
That would be great. I'm like,
Is
playing
that
some
what they do
Starmarine
in the
with-
Netherlands realm?
what? Like, what do we do?
He's a MILF chaser. What are you
Playing
going to do?
Starmarine with moms?
It's all good. Yeah, well,
I thought you were
that
talking
could be
about playing
interpreted in
something
many
else.
ways. So
It is a
in-
family show, yeah.
So yes, your mom is definitely invited. If she likes video games. If she doesn't like video games, she'll probably be sadly disappointed in the company, because it's just a bunch of nerds sitting around geeking. And especially following the Gamescom event, which I do believe will be relatively epic. Last year's Gamescom was pretty fucking epic, and we were riding a pretty heavy hype train all the way to CitizenCon. which was probably why CitizenCon was so deflating, because the hype level was so damn high off of Gamescom that there was no way they were going to top that.
Because we were supposed to see Squadron 42, and they didn't even say there wasn't going to be Squadron 42 until, what, an hour before the fucking stream?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, yeah.
Well, some were very disappointed, and others saw an epic, repeat, just better.
Well, didn't they show the
building show
tools?
Afterwards was epic though.
They showed the procedural editing. Yeah, they showed the procedural editing and all that stuff. That was really good. But unfortunately, when you were forced to sit through the long, dragged out version of how great Spectrum is going to be, there was no recovering from that. They should have did that last, honestly. But they should have came out and apologized and said, but we're going to talk to you about community tools. Whatever.
That's the worst decision ever.
Really?
I actually enjoyed that show so
the whole
much.
Planet.
They showed the whole planet thing. Cool. With traveling back and forth, and they had Mark Hamill on the show, talking at the end of the presentation for the planets.
You should have him on stage.
In addition to that, I was just anticipating the butthurt. That made it extra specially enjoyable for me. The last CitizenCon. It was. People didn't disappoint me.
You're
I
just
had a
like
laugh.
this fucking poison leech, aren't you? You just love it.
I love it when people wallow in self-pity.
There's no pity.
Yes, there is. Self-pity.
It's...
You used the word managing expectation.
You're damn right, Redord. He is a mean old man. He's been getting grumpier and grumpier as time goes on. It's crazy.
This is true.
You know what? It's one of the few pleasures you have when you get older. You need to maintain it.
Get off my lawn. Get out of my ship. Get off my homestead.
I don't think he's gonna tell them to get off his ship. He's just gonna fucking shoot them.
That's a slight danger of that.
So I thought it was a funny bug with the doors, with the constellation.
The doors that flew away. That was fucking
that was pretty funny.
It's like some reason the doors want to leave the ship, and they weren't doing that before. So Mark Aben broke something.
How about the one with the? There was one with the cup. And as he grabbed the cup, apparently the cup also had
on the
collision,
table,
which pushed the character aside instead of the cup. So the entire character shifted
funny.
into the bench, which kind of clipped everything and screwed the animations.
Yeah.
There was actually a lot of crying about that. I don't care about that shit. I don't want to see that. Collisions. I want to see some meat and potatoes.
It's funny.
It is funny.
It's the burn down thing. They're showing bugs. That's what they're doing. They're showing you what's up, issues with 3.0. Now that animation thing is not a critical bug by any means. But that's
and I think that was the complaint, was they wanted to see more of what is actually preventing the game from being pushed to EVACon.
Well, they showed that fucked up bug with the character going all Stretch Armstrong and shit and dancing around.
You know what?
You don't want that
crazy.
in the game.
You know what people are saying when they say stuff like that? They say link it or it doesn't happen. Show us, or we don't believe you that you have game-stopping bugs. It's
right.
Maybe they don't have game-stopping bugs, and maybe they're just holding out for a Gamescom 3.0 drop.
So you think we literally saw a scripted reality TV show where they're standing around talking about, having a fake conversation about, this is crashing the game, and this didn't go well, and there's this bug. You think they're scripting that?
Wouldn't that be funny? I don't think they are, but that would be funny.
Oh my god, just think how fucked up that is. Like, they have to script shit to placate people who can't you know, get over the delay of the game, so they have to make up something, you know, that people will accept. That's just so fucking stupid.
We'll give the haters something to hate about. We'll give Derek something to talk about here. This is how broken our game is. That'd be great. It'd be hilarious. But Miami Bat, that was funny. That interview that somebody asked Mark Hamill, Star Wars or Star Trek, and his answer was Star Citizen, and it wasn't even a Star Citizen event. It was something like totally different.
Right?
And they're like, what? Who? What the hell is a Star Citizen?
That was something on Twitter. He answered on Twitter, didn't he?
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
That was funny.
That was Twitter, yeah.
Well, that's good.
But actually, I have to say, I really look forward to seeing those actors. One, Sheeler in particular, but Mark Hamill as well.
Finding salt wherever no one else sees it, yeah.
I can't wait to see Mark Hamill and John Rhys Davies.
Oh, we already saw that was a pretty good ATV too, with the demos with the render to texture tech, the holographic calls, and we saw Ben Mendelsohn's face
and Liam Cunningham.
And Liam Cunningham with there was in suit. Yeah, that was cool. Those actors are pretty. That's going to be a good selling point as well. I think
it's all really cool.
Time for that music break. After that, we will go to do all those questions. And we'll have to decide on who actually reads them, but that'll be a good...
You know what's going to happen.
Questions like Batman.
This is going to break out the voice boxes and then...
It was supposed to be a surprise. But...
I'd rather have Batman read it than...
We can do that too.
Chipmunks.
We'll do it like this.
I'm Batman.
I'll read you the fucking questions, you snowflakes. This is my town.
Let's go to music. We'll be right back. Then the questions. Goodbye.
With Batman.
Perhaps.
I'll find a cape.
Hey, Juntub, they've added a rocket launcher here. Come look at it.
No time, gotta ask questions.
It's question time? Yeah.
He's back!
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
No.
I'm ready.
No.
Relum, are you ready?
Baby.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, we're ready.
It's gonna be great. Damn it.
It's gonna be awesome.
Okay. So, yes, it's awesome.
So you start off Chip.
Bathory. Yeah.
Chip.
Where's my mute button?
You're Dale?
He's Chip, and I'm Dip. Yeah.
Silver
Bathory asks, what would make the Gamescom stream good for you, and what would make it bad? Chipmunks would make it bad.
True.
I don't know.
Yes. You don't know? It's gonna be great. It's just gonna be great. It's not gonna be anything bad. It's gonna be all sunshine and fucking rainbows.
Sunshine and rainbows.
What about you, Tio? Do you even care?
Base building. Something about planetary outposts building. Maybe a tutorial from Squadron 42.
I think it'll be really good
But
if
what's
they had
gonna
an
ruin
internal...
it,
Us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a given.
But
we're gonna fuck it all up.
if they sit there and play 2.6 the whole time and that's all they have to show, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck. Because who, I mean, I guess we're jaded because, we're sick of it, but I don't know, I just think that's lame.
Yay!
People are following this shit? Are you kidding?
It's funny. Unless you're Norwegian, then nothing's funny, because you're just a grumpy old bastard, right. But that's fine. I don't find your humor humorous.
Grumpy old Sasquatch.
It's Chip with a big mouth.
You're like the fucking, shit.
What?
The Wampa on Hoth. He's that grumpy bastard.
He's grumpy. So, anyways, I gotta answer the question and say, it's gonna be good if they have like an internal build of 3.0 that has everything that we've seen to date, but in a stable environment, and anything that's broken just isn't there. And they could do it on an internal server just to make it stable. They don't have to do it broadcast across the web and all that shit. You know, get some good frames out of it.
Yeah.
Say, here, this is what it'll look like once we actually fix netcode.
Right, and that's what I hope they would have to show. That the streamers there would be playing and not 2.6.
He doesn't care what's in Gamescom, because he's mean. Anyways. Okay, fine.
Next question.
Can I delete these?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how. Oh, like this. Okay. I learned something new today. That's great.
Oh,
technology. It's very exciting.
Yay.
This was a good question. Innovis asks, where can I get the voice-changing box software stuff to use? And, I don't have a good answer, because Relum just gave me a link, and I clicked it, and it worked.
Well, like, it's a combination that we use Voicemeeter. But since we already have all of that in use, it's easy to hook VST hosts in that. If you look up VST hosts, you can get some hits, because it's basically a program that hosts effects, and then you can choose where to send those effects. But what was the other thing that was pretty much, you wouldn't need all the side software to use it, you could just download it and it works? It was like Screaming Bee, Morphvox. Yeah, that's the one. That's also something that you could use, but we're not using that one. Yeah, Screaming Bee, Morphvox. But they have a free version, but it doesn't sound that well, and you can't really mess with the settings like we can, because we can do anything.
Anything.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Technology.
That's your ass.
It's not even our stuff. We just, like I said, you can download VST effects on the internet everywhere. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, but and if you have a host that could run those effects, then you're pretty much set.
Yeah, what he said. And I'm just doing mini host with a TB voice pitcher into the digital bus on Voicemeeter. And then you can do cool stuff. Yeah, it's fun. I don't give a fuck.
Yay!
Norwegians don't like it. They don't like anything. Alcohol's too expensive. Wah. Okay, so he's not going to answer any questions. He's not going to participate anymore. It's sad. I feel like one of the minions. That's what I feel like. Not a chipmunk, but a minion. Yeah, but I don't...
What do you mean spooling up the toilet? What does that mean?
Using a shotgun to spool the... Oh, that's weird. What?
I don't know. He's weird. Okay, so Harold Sparhawk asked, might the game changer be a subterranean craft? Ooh, something to fight the sandworms in. That would be a game changer.
Why would they make...
Tunnelers?
Why would they make that to specifically do that for a sandworm that's probably only on one planet? I don't know. That would be interesting if there was going to be subterranean stuff. Like, that's a question I asked. Like, are there going to be caves and things like that in the planets? I don't think there are. At least right now. Maybe in the future. But, yeah, that'd be interesting.
That would require them to build the planets in a specific manner, which they're not doing.
Yeah, like I said, that seems like one of those Chris Roberts, Stanford the Chairman questions that he might have said, yeah, like maybe we'll do that, but you know what more that like comes of it is usually far down the line or never at all. And yeah, like he said, like the planets would have to be made completely destructible if you're ever going to change any of the terrain with tunnelers or whatever. So, but existing.
Well, how are they going to have
caves,
a Death Star if the planet isn't destructible?
They're not.
Oh, that's bullshit.
What do you mean?
We need planetary destruction. That would make the game complete.
I need my Death Star, damn it.
Yes.
Damn it.
Orcs should be allowed to destroy planets. Or at least small moons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some evil stuff.
So, yes.
From chipmunks.
Evil chipmunks are bad people. Bang Chow, hi. Asked if a planted spy in a group intentionally attacks an advocacy ship and brings your org reputation to hostile, how would you get it cleared or at least mitigate the loss of rep? That is a good point, Mr. Meta. And that's something that you should plan for, I would think. Oh, this game's gonna be crazy. People are gonna do that, you know.
Well, I mean, they can only do it once. They can only do it one time, and then you know who it is. Oh, why would that wouldn't completely ruin your org's reputation doing that one time, I would think.
You are grumpy. Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh dear.
Next.
I don't know the mechanics on how you would mitigate the loss of reputation, though. It's fine
Community
if
service.
I RP. Damn it. Don't judge me.
Just imagine.
Don't judge me. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna change character then.
Batman?
Alright, fuckers. Is that better? This is your inner voice telling you in Star Citizen, you will kill things. You will be an evil disciple of Derek Smart.
Kill.
Yes, kill them all. I'm Batman.
Kill.
Wow, that's pretty scary, actually. Alright, next question. From MGN Red Eagle asks, when will Star Citizen live stream on Gamescom be? And we answered that earlier.
You can find it on the website too.
But it is Friday.
That's the presentation.
That's what he's asking. Is it?
Live stream. They're also live streaming from the booth. So I got it here.
Don't
It
shake
wasn't
your head
on
at me.
Discord. in our Discord server, Knight Rider posted like a schedule and he pinned it. So it's in a pinned message in the Star Citizen Discord channel. And saying Wednesday, August 23rd, starting at 12 p.m. local in Germany. Germany. And they pretty much do that on Thursday it's the same, so they start at 12 p.m. German time. On Friday they start at 10 a.m. German time. And the presentation itself on Friday evening, 9 p.m. local German time, which is 3 Eastern and 12 Pacific. And Saturday they will have another Gamescom booth stream at 12 German time. But
in Germany.
Of course, what you would be looking out for the most is that presentation on Friday. If you're unfamiliar with how it works.
That was very thorough. Thank you very much.
Find it on the RSI website. What we have the link, you see?
We'll find you a link.
He already found it.
Oh, he already found it. Wee Hamster. Thank you. Thank you, Wee Hamster.
Next pick.
Your hero.
Wee Hamster is a badass.
This is an interesting question from Comrade Headclot. He asks, what does man, bear, pig say? What the fuck does that mean?
You haven't seen South Park?
No. Is that from South Park?
I have, but it was so long ago. I forgot.
I don't watch it ever. I'm sorry. I can't answer that question. I don't have that background.
It's like that creature is like the equivalent of what's that other wild creature that people say they see in the woods and it's monsters?
Bigfoot. Sasquatch.
It's something like that.
Yes. I'm so disappointed. I'm disappointed in him. You know, just disappointed. Sad. You make me sad. Mean-ass Norwegians. This is a funny question. Bang Chow. If Star Citizen never got kickstarted, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
Playing.
I'd probably have a better life right now, honestly.
And that too.
Oh, gee. You'd certainly have more money.
You would have more time on Sunday.
Yes, this is true. I'd probably be playing Rainbow Six Siege with my kids right now.
Who likes to play what ifs with if this didn't happen?
We would all be playing shitty No Man's Sky. And that's it.
And you would think it was great.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Do you even listen?
I think he muted us.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
He's just participating in chat instead. It was.
Somebody asked Tio what he would be doing right now if technology did not exist to change my voice. He'd probably be a happy man.
You think that would solve all his grumpiness? Just that alone?
No, I do not.
Yeah, no.
This is a good voice for me, though.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's almost sound natural.
Drake said Tio would probably be not ignoring you. Yes, he might not be ignoring you, but he is. That's fine. Moving on. What else do we have? Harold Sparhawk. Anyone think the Game Changer could be a non-luxury transport ship, like a regular old taxi? And I think Moggimus, you had said that, right? Like the Bruce Willis taxi from The Fifth Element?
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome. I would love to drive that.
I don't know that.
Oh, shit.
Took that long to find it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't know. Anyone think could be? Speculation. Could be anything. Bang Chow asks 400 and 435 for the next person. What?
It could be an ice cream truck for all we know.
This is true.
Man.
Yeah.
This is absolutely true.
Merchant stalls.
Yeah, there's no question. Okay, so back to this question from Bang Chow asks 400 and 435 for presumably the 600i if confirmed. What would the additional $35? What do you think that would entail? What would you get for the extra $35?
Leather seats.
Is that war bond, non-war bond?
Probably.
Yeah, I would guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Probably just, the sail types of the same ship.
They may have said something about variants of that in there somewhere. I don't remember where I heard that, but that seems to ring a bell. Not exactly sure, though. That's too bad. He got a lot of questions in, Bang Chow did, so he asks, if you could sway the decision by Chris Roberts, would you have the StarCry engine open up for other game makers to develop their own games? Why and why not? And we've said that for a long time. I understand what he's saying is when Star Citizen's built, do you think that Chris Roberts should potentially give other game makers the rights to use the technology that he's built? And I think there may be other agreements in the background, but we've been saying that for a long time.
He's not gonna give it away. They're gonna fucking license it for money.
Yeah.
For money. Yeah,
money.
For sure. There's no way they are not going to try to sell all this technology that they've created. There's no way. Yeah, it's gonna happen for sure. Yep.
I agree. You know why? Because of money.
Money.
Yeah, said that, yeah.
Mama needs new shoes.
Debt paper.
It's a true story. She-Drake, will it be possible to upgrade my Phoenix hot tub to the 600 eyes?
there isn't that many of us to shoot.
We're turning that dirty now.
We Hamster right now is getting triggered.
Uh-huh. What was the next?
You didn't hear me? That's disappointing as well. She-Drake asked, will it be possible to upgrade my Phoenix hot tub to the 600 eyes? And why do we think that the 600i has a hot tub?
I think he's saying, like, well, I don't know. But if the 600i is supposed to be sort of like the Constellation, will there be a Phoenix-like variant of the 600i? My
speculation is that the 600i is going to make the Phoenix look like a pile of fucking dog trash. Because Origin, bitches. Origin. They own you. So
they make sexy
remember,
stuff, and then they make even more sexy stuff.
and that's all they make is sexy stuff. So buy Origin. Buy today. Buy many, many, many 600 eyes. As much as your credit card will allow you to purchase, buy them.
Or your entire bank account.
Yes. Well, most gamers are broke and all they live on is credit anyway. So if you had to build a new PC today, how would you finance it? We would crowdfund it. Okay. All right. Miami Bat asks, if you tried Star Citizen offline mode, do you believe that it is how the performance will be once 3.0 releases, or will we get the same netcode horror that we have with 2.6?
Not when 3.0 releases.
No, you will not get,
But it does give you, like, what the offline mode gives you is, like, it's a good way of thinking, okay, so this is what the end goal is that if the netcode was completely, like, fixed and running smoothly, that is what it would be. It's not to say that it would be like that in 3.0. I don't even think it would be that close at all. Like,
yeah, and that's the
why
other thing is
alpha.
people, right? And people might get, assuming they have a 3.0 build for Gamescom and they're playing it there. People might get a little faked out by that too, if that runs well, because the thing is they're going to be playing that off a local server there that is not going through, the internet or anything like that, or their whole server architecture. So the game might look like it runs really well for 3.0 at Gamescom, but it will not run that well for everyone at home over there, over the internet. It will not.
And there you have it. All right, from Cheedrake, will Banu, Xi'an, and other races have their own versions of truck stops, repair facilities, etc.? Yes, they will. Guaranteed.
yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I don't.
Oh, they will.
I don't assume that truck stop we've seen will be that same truck stop will be used in every freaking system in the universe. That would be dumb. There are going to be variants and other company-styled truck stops, other race-style origin background style truck stops. Yeah, variants.
Yeah, what he said.
What I said.
Yeah, well, if they're spending that much time developing the lore on any given species, it would make no sense for them to not have their own everything. Bespoke everything. They're going to have their own bespoke ships, their own bespoke architecture for planets. I'm sure that they will have their own bespoke architecture for, and whatever you call it, decoration, whatever, for everything.
It was actually a long time ago that even, because it's not in game yet, but like the architectural style of the different planets in the standard system, they're all owned by the same company. Like, what's his name? No, wait, no, they're not. They're four different companies.
They're all different.
Yeah.
You got Hurston, Microtech, ArcCore,
Crusader.
and Crusader.
But like, well, that actually doesn't. I can't make my point with that. because there was this one picture where you saw different architectural styles around the planets in that system, and it kind of looked the same, but it just had different color schemes because of the different companies in the standard systems.
Well, that's kind of like the outposts we just saw in the branded outposts in ATV. They're the same shell, just with different paint over it, basically. Which is fine. I mean, it would be cool if can get some different ones at some point, but you know.
Yeah, that one.
I like what I see for now.
That's the one he linked. I knew he had it somewhere. That's what's been made a long time ago. It shows the 4 planets and their color schemed buildings.
But at that point, the architecture is all exactly the same, and that isn't going to be the case as this game expands, as we've talked about Terra being ultra futuristic, or whatever they call the term for that style of architecture. It's going to be something completely different. So different planets based on economies and their role in the game will all look different, and I'm guaranteeing that alien species as well will look different. But there's no point in pushing any of that shit to the forefront when
you can't see the letters.
America. I can read America Squirrel. That's so funny. Okay. One more question from Bang Chow asks for all. I guess this means including T.O., who isn't fucking listening to me right now.
He doesn't even know
he's being a bitch.
We're not being chipmunks anymore.
He doesn't know. He's in Bushland.
He still thinks we're using high-pitched voices.
Or maybe he is listening.
Oh, shit.
Well, say something, you dirty bitch. You gotta answer some questions here. This question is for you because it says for all, so I assume that means for T.O. For T.O. specifically, would you abide by the Fair Chance Act, or would you exploit the heck out of the native beings for their resources?
If they're being hostile back, then fuck them.
The Fair Chance Act means you're not even supposed to go there.
No.
They're not supposed to have any human interactivity whatsoever. No, Dave Haddock went into detail on this in one of the recent Lore Maker's Guide to the Galaxies, and part of the Fair Chance Act is that they have
terraforming.
Zero. Yes,
is this like
they
the
have
Prime
zero.
Directive in Star Trek we're talking about?
Maybe.
Then the question really comes into play is, will other people, other humans, follow that act? Or,
no.
The Vandal, or
they don't give a shit.
Other races, Sejan, etc. And they won't. And pirates, prophets, of course they won't. So I would rather set up...
Because it's only a UEE law.
I would set up a base, and most definitely I would resource to pay for the base, and resource to have a reason to stay there, but would I decimate the planet? Probably not.
That's not part of the Fair Chance Act, right? I mean, you can make a base down there if you want. You can freaking put ships down there and make bases. But
can you?
In order to terraform, I guess so. I mean, those natives don't own the entire planet, do they? I mean,
as Dave Haddock,
you can't just say you can't go anywhere.
Well, I don't know. As Dave Haddock explained it in the Lore Makers, it was to allow that species to have its own independent development, separate from humanity, with no interference from people. So I would assume that if you're UEE, based on that statement, if you're UEE friendly, or you're trying to be UEE friendly, then if you violated the Fair Chance Act, then you'd be in violation of the law.
So it's kind of
I'll
like
have to read the document. I didn't read the whole document.
It's kind of
like
a
whole document.
Natural reservoir, protected, that sort of shit we have on
Earth.
Yeah,
like the fucking tree frogs and shit.
Yeah. But
so you can't build a house in the tree frog habitat because it'll fuck up their development.
Because it's always dangerous to introduce technology to a species before they're, to anything before it's ready for it.
So the entire planet,
which is exactly how the aliens fuck the human race, by giving us this technology that we were talking about. Yes, microprocessors and all that shit.
Kill ourselves.
Yep.
Yes,
like
exactly, and that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Same thing with
cell phones are going to
nuclear fusion. The whole
we'll
bit.
use voice boxes to kill Norwegians.
Okay, last question is from Major Sam Wise. Hello, Major Sam Wise. Relum, what did you do with all the screenshots you made of the Star Citizen the other week?
What other week? I don't know what he's...
Yeah, it's just like a constant battle that Relum is fighting to capture screenshots and make them 360-degree panoramic.
Those are
crazy. I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
Those are on the hub and on my Flickr and on the... whatever, the 360s are... Hang on, I'll just link you my Twitter. And I have a pinned tweet on my profile all the time that links to the resources where I post those screenshots. That pretty much, that's... I did also this week post some Hellblade screenshots because that game is freaking amazing. It looks amazing and it sounds amazing.
Does it play amazing?
Battle between Knight Rider.
Yeah, but you didn't post frickin' Wee Hamster's computer exploding 130 whatever K screenshots that he did.
Because it's useless.
Exactly. I'm like, why would you even bother? I'm like, 130K, why? Just why? Because we can, he says.
Because we can.
Oh, you removed the question. So did he actually say SC screenshots?
Yes, he did. Yes. From the other week.
The other week.
Yes, I'm not sure what that entails. There are many weeks.
It's been a couple weeks since I made the last 360-degree screenshots.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what you've been doing with your time. Okay.
I don't know. But, I mean...
This was a good question from the other week. From 813. It never got deleted. How important do you guys think long range will be in the persistent universe? Should I keep my Vanguard? Remember that question?
We answered it.
Yeah.
That's a good question. How important will long range be in the persistent universe? And I'm not talking about the 3.0 persistent universe. I'm talking about 25, 50, 75, 100 systems long range. It's going to be damn important.
Nothing's that long range.
I don't think so. No.
For speed, it's going to be pretty damn important. For those who are organized, that runs with refueling ship, you're still going to have a lot of downtime due to refueling and due to restocking and all that stuff. So ships that can go the distance on their own, engage and come back, or do the patrols, in most cases, and don't require anything in addition to that, is going to be favorites for patrols.
What would be really cool and interesting is to, if at some point, say, an orc gets mined out some sort of a region, or they have to move or something. So if the entire orc, with all the capital ships, or maybe with whatever they have in the bases, have to pack up and go to their next home settlement, which might be 10 systems away, or 20. That would be a big freaking operation. It would be like Battlestar Galactica Colonial Fleet, where you have to keep jumping and then settling and setting up perimeters, finding new, finding some fuel resources, and refueling, and then next system. That was something I was thinking of. So cool, so interesting.
Well, imagine that you're going to move that whole fleet, maybe thousands of players, from one part of the system or systems to another part, the opposite side. If everything goes smooth and there's no no hiccups, no engagement, no nothing, it could take up to 18 hours. But smooth is not something that happens when you involve a lot of players. smooth is not half. It's going to be a lot of other people that might want to attack that, and then you have pirates, NPC pirates or government inspections. All that stuff that's going to happen from the NPC level.
Maybe you can make it a long route around that. That would make the journey longer, but it would be safer. And that's how I wonder how far outside of the system, like if you're in the system, like how far away can you actually fly if you just activate quantum drive and see how far away from the star. If you could potentially go from one end of the system all the way over the top of outside of any of the ranges of the planets or the stations and get to the other side where there's another jump point, something like that. Or if you're forced to go straight through.
I don't think you want to play the game that long.
No. There's people that will do everything. They will.
Yeah, I doubt they will start. Let's say the game is released in 2020. Let's say they start from one star and go to the next star. Even with the reduced time, it will take them, in-game time of years. In practical time, we're talking about half a year maybe to the next star.
Do you think that long?
Well, how
I don't
fast
think
is quantum supposed to be?
0.2 light speed.
Carpe diem.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but generally speaking, the way that they're mapping out wormholes and whatnot, you can go from one system to another. So if you're saying the next star, are you saying the next wormhole, or are you saying... I don't necessarily see it taking that long.
He's going to go around, not using any wormhole. Just go out of a system and then drive to the next one. They're not going to allow that in the first place.
Yeah, that's not going to be physically be possible because in my estimation on how they're going to have to build this game, each solar system will have to be treated as its own individual entity. It won't have a seamless transition. Like I guarantee you, if you keep flying, eventually you'll reach the quote-unquote end of the zone.
Yeah, no.
There's no way that they're going to...
No,
maybe they will be able to tie them together, but
outside
I don't
of
know.
System to the next system using quantum gems. I mean, that's not even possible. For one, because it's probably way too far away, and because they do have limits inside every system. But like, how big is that limit? How can you actually slingshot very far around? If you wanted to avoid maybe some sort of area, could you go, let's say, far up or far down?
Well, that's probably going to be a valid tactic where you, instead of going straight to target, you go a different route.
And there might even be stuff out there. Who knows? Exploration.
Mm-hmm.
Because other people might have the same idea.
Don't think there's going to be a hard wall you hit where you can't go any further. You will just hit unprotected interstellar space where your star is no longer providing enough protection from radiation.
Or you just run out of fuel.
That might be a possibility as well.
And that's what I was going to say. I think that's another thing they're going to be tweaking is the maximum quantum fuel capacity of any given ship.
Well, the Starfarer can technically refuel itself, so I think it's going to have to be done something in lore to keep you from going too far. And radiation from interstellar spaces is a good lore to keep that at bay.
That's been in other games with prior radiation zones. You can't leave the play area because it's a radiation zone.
Citrate is like, how tall are the systems? How far up can we go? That's exactly what I wondered. Now, in the current Crusader system, it's actually very flat. If you've noticed that, you can quantum drive up if you want, but you'll pretty much hit the edge of the zone very quickly. Whereas if you go horizontally, you can actually go quite far. So it's, I think if you imagine that level is quite like really flat and really wide, which is not how it's supposed to be, I think, in the end. I doubt that.
They've stated something about it's going to be it's not going to be a cube basically.
No,
it's going to be it's going to be flatter than it's wide, but the image they showed earlier when they talked about it indicates that you will be quantum driving for a while to get to the edges if you start from the middle and up, or especially if you start from the bottom and going up, or the vice versa.
Well, the last I heard, and if I'm remembering correctly, was 1 million by 1 million by 300,000 kilometers.
300? That's not
300,000 from top to bottom. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
You mean what it's
I can't
now?
source that right now, so it's not. It's
the current. You mean?
I think that's the current size of the playable map or buildable map.
So the way they have to scale it down to have playability, because what is it now to Pluto? Or is it 2.9 billion kilometers from the sun?
I don't know.
Or is that from the Earth?
Pluto isn't even.
It's
Pluto doesn't have a flat orbit either.
The point is it takes a very long time due to there's so much space, nothing happening in between, and this is the thing that they're cutting down on. How much empty space is there internally in a system? But they're still going to take you at 0.2 light speed for an average size system like Earth. What did they say? 40 minutes from one end to the other. That's the goal of a system. But if you look at, then take the average size of the Earth and the system you find, and the size you find of it, and then you look up the star map and look for the size on the biggest systems, they are massive compared to our system. That's going to take more than 40 minutes. That's going to take hours and hours at 0.2 light speed. So that systems, there's probably not going to be mainstream or main hubs far out in those systems, but that's going to be good exploration ground.
So here it is. Pluto's, in the real world, Pluto's aphelion, which is, I think, the maximum spherical orbit, the maximum distance from the sun it could have in this orbital path, because it's not always the same, obviously. So that number is 49 AU.
But it's also sometimes closer than Neptune.
No,
I'm pretty sure it's closer than Neptune and in its elliptical course.
But it takes like 250 years for it to make one orbit or something. So, alright. I think we're through the questions.
I'm never going to get to see a full orbit of Pluto, is what you're saying?
No one is going to ever see one orbit. 1 year of
My
Pluto
life has
is
no meaning any longer.
250 years.
Wow. Cosmic time sucks.
There's actually a website I noticed somewhere. It used to be around for a long time. It probably still exists. It would calculate how old you would have been on another planet, considering the terminology of that planet. How long one orbit is would be 1 year, and on Mars you would be like, if you were 20, you would be like 5 or something. I don't even know. But that's like some stupid facts. It doesn't even matter, but it's funny. It would calculate your age on other planets. And on Pluto, you would be 0.2 or something like.
That would be your lifespan.
Yeah. Okay. This show went on longer than I expected. So.
Especially with those voices.
I know, right?
Space is big.
Space is big. Yeah, so, yeah, let's wrap it up then, I guess. That was a good talk, I guess, yeah, about space. Space is big. That's how we can get nice questions to get, to get us to go deeper into stuff. I like that. So, yeah, like we also just dumped all those links. You can find us there, or all our other stuff, our website, our Twitter, our Facebook, our Twitch, which is what you're watching right now. Discord is obviously what we linked before. You can hang out there. You can find us if we're not in the Twitch chat. So, and obviously the YouTube is one of those things where we will post we will post this episode for one, and where you can find all the previous roundtable episodes since we've been doing the videos. So, so with that, this episode will be on there in a couple of days or something. Then, so if you miss something, you can always watch it there. And I think let's see, like we've just covered on Wednesday, they will start that Gamescom presentation thing, so you can find that on their official Twitch probably. It'll be all over the place on the Twitter, so just keep it in mind. Other than that, we also have other shows throughout the week on TheBase, which you can find out at our schedule. Like Monday is usually quiet, but Tuesdays N-Track, and Wednesdays Shiver, and what else is there? And Thursday, DJ's BMP, if he's back from his holiday, and then all sorts of stuff. So definitely check that out. And with that, I think we can just, anything else to say? No?
Yep, don't forget to mention one more time, the Saturday following the Gamescom presentation, the place is ts.starcitizenbase.com. Come hang out for game day. We're going to be playing Star Citizen or just sitting around talking shit about 3.0 in general.
Or the crappy
or the lack of 3.0, or the train wreck that was the Gamescom presentation, or what have you. So,
and that's our TeamSpeak server if the TS part didn't give it away.
Right, and there's no registration required. You just show up and we will help you find a place. And if you don't show up, well, fucking whatever. You might not like me. That's okay. You might not want to hang out with me. It's okay. Tio doesn't want to hang out with me.
I don't want to hang out
squirrels.
with you. I mean, I don't know.
American squirrels.
He's got a law rocket.
Special guest Barry White. We thank Barry White for attending the show today. Thank you for being here. This is
it was a good show.
So I don't know. Let's go. We'll be back next week, another SCP Roundtable, obviously, and you can pretty much be sure that there'll be a lot of talk about what will have happened throughout this coming week. So definitely be there. We'll be going crazy. If not, we'll make sure it goes crazy using voice boxes and whatever, So see you then. See you next week. We'll be there on this same Twitch channel. See you then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I support the monkeys. Do you? Check out TheBase. 24/7 online radio. Oh, yeah! Visit us at TheBase.sc. They're professionals.